Well, a Justice Department official says that Attorney General Loretta Lynch will not overrule the findings of the FBI and prosecutors if they decide to bring charges against Hillary Clinton over her use of a private email server as Secretary of State. Lynch facing a firestorm of criticism after a private meeting with former President Bill Clinton at an airport tarmac in Phoenix. This week, let's discuss with CNN senior political commentator, former senior advisor to President Obama, David Axelrod. He joins us now. David, thanks so much for joining us this morning. I want to play now for you and our viewers how Loretta Lynch characterized that meeting with Bill Clinton. Let's have a quick listen.
He did come over and say hello and speak to my husband and myself and talk about his grandchildren and his travels and things like that. So that was the extent of that. And no discussions were held in any cases or anything of that. And he didn't raise anything about that either.
Yeah. So David, she says he didn't raise anything, but Bill Clinton is a seasoned politician with a lot of experience. He knows this investigation is going on. What was he thinking, knowing the potential optics in the middle of a difficult presidential race?
That sounds like a rhetorical question. I think that I don't think he was thinking, and I think that the Attorney General made a mistake as well. I absolutely take her at her word. I'm sure they weren't talking about the case, but each of them are sophisticated enough to know that such a meeting would raise eyebrows. And in this hotbed, the hothouse of a presidential campaign, you knew it was going to be an issue. So they should have avoided that situation. The optics were bad.
But David, just to dive a little deeper there, was former President Clinton not thinking, or was this part of sort of a charm offensive of some kind that if he goes over and makes nice and they talk about their grandchildren, then it's certainly harder to indict his wife?
You know, I would feel maybe a little more that way if not for decades of experience with Bill Clinton, who does that with everybody. I mean, he's the most ebullient character you can find, and he's on a permanent charm campaign with everybody he meets, from the baggage handler at the airport to, world leaders. That's who Bill Clinton is. It's just that in this case, he should have exercised some restraint, or someone traveling with him should have said, Mr. President, maybe we should just say hello and move on. And the Attorney General, now apparently it was 108 degrees out there, and so she said, well, why don't we get a step on my plane? And the fact that a quick hello turned into a 30-minute conversation is also characteristic of Bill Clinton, who's a garrulous character. So I don't impute too much to it, but I do think that it was bad judgment on both their parts.
Okay, so now we've had a fairly